So this video is just a simple example, really something I see often happening by particularly different SEO softwares or softwares in general to be fair. So if we use as a really good example of something which does the job very well would be Visual Studio Code. It basically allows you to do different code frameworks such as make Python apps, do things in hypertext markup language, Julia, and a range of other softwares. That is basically what people need it for basic editing work and other creative purposes it can be used for. So it does basically what everybody needs. So there's not really anything we really need to, if you like, change the settings or add new features in for just basic unrelated things. But a lot of software companies often do this really wrong. You'll have something basic. For example, it could be a backlink checker. That is basically all you need the software for, checking backlinks. But then they add a range of other features, how to improve your own page, how to, say, improve your spam score. It sounds cool in principle, true, but in reality, it's not really helping improve the core features. The core features is often something firms often get wrong. They generally do it to try and make the service sound more attractive, to try and charge more money for it in some cases. But when your basic features are getting worse, which is often the case in virtually with companies that try and basically expand the software too much, that is where things kind of go wrong. Because one of the ones that we started to use, I'm not going to say what software it is, that's not really the point of this video, it's a login video, but one of the problems with software is they're basically trying to make the way it produces content become better and better and better, which sounds cool, I guess, in principle, but in reality, if it does already what people need and want, adding new features to it, whether you want to do something like this, for example, allow, say, Python to work in it, as it allows, say, Julia to work in something else, and have some editor in place which allows it to work, or some other style, it will be useful for a small amount of people, sure, in some cases, but in reality, if the basic feature which people actually bought the software, got the software, stops working as well, then that's when you start to have issues with the software. And a lot of firms I've seen seem to always kind of do this thing. The software generally starts off quite good or semi-good. When they start adding more and more features, then over time, the software itself just completely gets wrecked. People stop using it, and then the person that runs the firm is really confused about why exactly they basically mess it. Because in some cases, you're best just to stick to the core features you want, whether it's a Python builder, whether it's a Julia software, or something else. If that is your main goal of your software and people are happy to pay for it, happy to use it, then you're best just to leave it as it is. If people say to this, for example purposes, make it run a bit faster, then that would be something good to do. That can be useful. But adding things which are not non-relatable to it or something people don't want or need, in most cases is just wasting your time, whether you're doing it yourself or if you're paying someone to do the software work for you, you're basically wasting your money. So that's something to consider if you are basically making a software or you're trying to change your software. Unless it actually improves the base features or the feature people actually want, you're basically wasting your time and your money doing this in a lot of cases. If the software is only supposed to do one thing and people are happy to buy it with that one feature, adding more and more features often is not going to make the software better. In reality, what normally happens is the software simply gets slower in quite a lot of cases, or it simply just breaks because now the person or people doing the work on the software have to do more work and the standard unfortunately is not being kept. If you really want to design another piece of software, then great, do it. But try and keep your base software, your first one, working well, unless you can prove that your users want this upgrade or update done. If you can prove it and people are happy with it, then keep doing it. If not, you're best to leave it at the core functions of what people want in the software. For example, going back to this one, this is a fantastic editor for doing different jobs. That's why people keep using it. Anyway, that's what we do. Thanks, and have a good weekend.